Well, from the suburbs of New York, we venture to the Algarve and to Portugal for round three, season six of the Clark St. James Tanso Racing Group GT3 season. My name's Alex Goldschmidt, welcoming you along all to the JP Broadcasting Network. I'll be joined at the booth today once again by my good friend and my partner in crime, Mr. James Parfitt. So, Portimao, 4.58 kilometres, and it is pretty much going to be a big old roller coaster ride. We've still got, after this, second half of the calendar. Mugello in just a week's time, Road America, and then we go to Le Mans for the only 90-minute race. So the format is effectively 15 minutes of qualifying, which is already a couple of the minutes of the way through. So pros will be indicated by the yellow on the left-hand side with the timing tower, and the blues will be considered the AMs. It's a fixed setup, same car all season. And if you change your car, well, you're a very, very naughty person because it's not going to be fair on anybody else. Right, on that note, let's have a look at the scores on the doors with regards to our respective classes. Now, we do have the AM classification coming up, and it's been 2 for 2 so far, despite a bit of drama last time out. At the Glen, Jared Love in the Mustang leads by 90 points. Connor Pink just 6 points behind in P2. Then it's Christopher Radfield and Next Gen Racing's Adrian Hadfield that round out the top four. The latter two on 63 points apiece. Joseph Lucas, Mike Walters, Tim Walters, Gareth Newton, Dave Collier, Tim Cullimore and Christopher Haynes round out your 11-strong AM category standings at the moment. So Jared Love could be looking for 3 on the bounce of the Mustangs. Good here at Portimao. What can we say about Luis Martinez? Nothing if not unflappable. 90 points, 2 wins out of 2 for the Spaniard in the Ferrari 296. Peter Duke from DC Motorsport, his closest competitor so far, on 78 points. Then it's HB Racing's Harry Hartley-Price, Scott Brown from Team Tanso, and Craig Corish, who round out your top 5. Brown and Corish level on 66 points apiece. Could the deadlock be broken tonight? Andy White, Tim Reed, Phil Giles, Wayne Douglas, Sean Clark, Baz Cutting, and Mateusz Smolny round out your 12 drivers that have scored in the Pro Class so far. And with the scores out of the way, welcome into the booth once again, Mr. Parfitt, good evening.
Good evening, young sir. How are you?
Apart from sounding like Mariella Frostrup, I'm fine.
Good. That's all that matters. Everybody's
Indeed.
gravy.
Indeed.
No, it should be a fun one. I don't like the track, but I think the racing could be okay.
Yeah, well, we did have dramas between Messrs. Love and Pink last week, didn't we? Dive bomb and then dummy, in that order. But what a way to finish that race. But yeah, I mean, we know that Portimao is, as you've rightly said, it's a track that you don't like. It is a bit Marmite. It is one of those ones where you love it or you hate it. I mean, I do like the roller coaster layout of it anyway, with the way that it just sort of goes by the natural topography of the locality. So you get a bit of a mix and a bit of a challenge, but sometimes drivers want a little bit more, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I think this is the thing. Some drivers might like the circuit. Some drivers may find it exciting. Some drivers may find it thrilling. Some drivers, you know, I've driven here in a V8 Gen 2 supercar, and, you know, it felt good. But it's just not a track that I find appealing. I don't know. It goes with that European Catalonia, Jerez-esque circuits that you just... I don't know, the racing's going to either be really good or just really, really meh.
A bit like the track, a bit meh.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's weird, isn't it, these circuits? Some of them are really good, but Catalonia, dude, you never know what you're going to get. If it was a cake, you wouldn't know if it was going to cook properly or come out a soggy mess.
Yeah, you didn't know whether it was going to be a nice, soft carrot cake, or whether it's a complete eating mess. There's two different sides. You know, that's a bit of a way of describing it, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. The race, as I said, it's just one of them that some people were going to absolutely adore, some people were not. You just really don't know what you're going to get. I can tell you from experience, though, if they apply the power too early here, they are going to be in deep doo-doo, and they're going to have to make sure they can feather that throttle and get round here without any problems. And it's like Connor Pink's car. It's got Vegemite on it. You're either going to like his livery or you're going to hate it.
Yeah, well, if someone was in deep doo-doo, they'd be just like Jar Jar Binks out of Star Wars, wouldn't they?
Yep.
But there we go. We digress. Anyway, let's concentrate on qualifying. 8 minutes and 20 to go. And, well, Porsches are doing Porsche things because Harry Hartley-Price is currently leading the way on a 1:43.270, being followed by Mateusz Smolny in the number 26. Peter Duke is third in the Acura. And Andy White has got the Stang up to fourth at the moment. Craig Corrish and Wayne Douglas round out your top six. And there is the lovely liveried Acura NSX, more commonly known in the United Kingdom as a Honda. Sorry, just had to put it out there. Right, Jared Love. Well, once again, he's looking for another pole position in a row. I think that'll be his third straight if he gets it. He's currently P7 at the moment on a 1:44.204. Joseph Lopez in the 55 McLaren and Connor Pink in the Vegemite Special McLaren rounds out your top three in the AMS at the moment, and they are covered by about 0.16 of a second as Dave Collier comes across the line. Personal best for him, a 1:45.139. Mike Walters and Luis Martinez yet to set a lap time. This is a 45-minute race. The only one where we don't have a 45-minute race will be the season 6 finale in around about 3 weeks' time when we head to the Circuit de la Sarthe at Le Mans. That will be a 90-minute race, and then, well, let's just say GT3s roaring down the Mulsanne Straight. Especially if you're in a V8 Mustang. ASMR is all I'm saying on that one. At over 165 miles an hour. But yeah, I think it is a circuit that's going to work well. I think, you know, with the fact that Hartley-Price and Smolny and Corrish, that's 3 out of the top 5 that are all Porsches. Gareth Newton goes second in AM, 3 100ths behind Jared Love. So looks like the Porsches could be a bit of a threat tonight. I think maybe even the Acura of Peter Duke could be a threat as well.
Yeah, I think it's open to a lot of different manufacturers this time around. I think that's one of the things we can safely look out for. Porsches should be strong. It's a kind of makeup of track. So we'll have to find out how they get on and whether or not they do manage to get the throttle down before the back end decides that it wants to come round to the front. But I think the Acura could be strong. Mustang especially, it's quite flowy for the Mustang. There's only a couple of corners that would really sort of hurt the Mustang down in Tor Vip and before Sagres are the only 2 corners that probably would hurt the Mustang as such. But, I would expect Lopez in the McLaren to put Love in the Mustang under a little bit more pressure, but whether or not that's going to be possible. And Luis Martinez, well, he turns up late, jumps on the track, does a 1:43.191 and goes pole. Job done, race over. See you later, take care, adios.
It's like Big John on Instagram, Bosch, like literally straight in there, wallop, job done, and straight away he's 8 100ths quicker than Hartley-Price, who's currently in pit lane. So is Andy White. So a lot of drivers have either completed 4 laps or on the course of completing around about 5 laps of this circuit. Established, well, first opened back in October 2008. So in comparison with a lot of circuits nowadays, folks, it's a young whippersnapper. 4.6 kilometres, which roughly translates to about just a shade under 2.9 miles. 15 turns. It's hosted TCR World Tour, DTM, World Touring Car Race of Portugal, FIA GT, World Endurance Championship, Portuguese Grand Prix back in 2020 and 2021 when teams couldn't travel that far depending on the stringent restrictions of certain countries. And then, do you ever remember A1 Grand Prix, JP, the World Cup of Motorsport?
Yes. Wasn't that with the football teams had racing teams?
No, that was Super League Formula. A1 Grand Prix was you had Team Germany, Team New Zealand, Team UK, I think even John Surtees actually had a hand in Team UK, who actually ran Robbie Kerr. So A1 Grand Prix actually ventured to this circuit only in its second year of operation. So 2028 is when Portimao celebrates its 20th anniversary. But Martinez once again straight out there, another lap, bang, improvement. That Ferrari it's stuck to that tarmac like glue. It has been since the opening round 2 weeks ago. And Martinez, I think, who was it that was really challenging him last week? I was trying to remember now. There was one driver that really had his number. It was Peter Duke, wasn't it? Peter Duke was with him for quite a time. And then we had, who was it? Sean Brown, I think, that was being the cork in the pro wine bottle, so to speak, and everyone was stuck behind him, and that included Peter Duke, who was trying to get past, and no matter what Pete did, trying to undercut him in the pits, no, you're still not in front of him. So there's an opportunity here for some drivers maybe to get a bit more clear air around this track, because we've only got in total 9 pros and 11 AMs.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to take it away. I think some of the AMs might mix it up, like Love, like Newton, like Lopez, into the pros if they can have good runs. That's the thing. But I think overall it's going to be a very interesting makeup of how this is going to play out. Sean Mahoney, let's go Lopez, he says in YouTube chat.
So if you are watching along on the JP Broadcasting Network, don't forget to do all the regular stuff, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell whilst you're at it, give us a little follow on social media. We're over 3,100 subscribers at the moment, as we see Luis Martinez go across the line. Is that another improvement? It would have timed in by now, so that seems to be a disallowed lap. So but Harry Hartley-Price needs to get a little bit of a wiggle on at the moment. He's gone quicker in Sector 1 of 29.733, which is a personal best. No improvement on Sector 2, which is about 8 tenths down on at the minute. On this particular lap, he's coming through Galp at turn 15. And then a bit like... what's the track? It's a US track that also has the same style when you come out of the final corner. Oh, and you go up the climb.
Huh?
You know Road America. It's like Road America on the start-finish track. They come out of the final corner, and you got that crest that you got to go over onto the start-finish track. Yeah. A bit like Road America, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what that final complex reminds me of here at Portimao.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. You're just missing turn 13A, 13B, and 14. But it's the final complex is more Catalunya-esque as well, with a long right-hander without that janky chicaning. So I would put it more Catalunya. You got turn 10 when the number 9's going around now. That's Sean Clark. Then you're going up to turn 11, that long looping right-hander, and then you got that straight one right the way round down into turn 1. So, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I would go more Catalunya, though.
So, checkered flag is out for the session. And, well, we're just waiting to see if we're going to get a couple more drivers coming across the line. Sean Clark aborts his lap into pit lane. That puts him 9th. Barney, the flag marshal, doing his business as always, as we've got one coming around the final corner. And that would have been one of the Acuras. I think that was Wayne Douglas. Improves on lap time, but not on position, I'm afraid. So, still a few of the drivers running around the circuit. We're just waiting to see if the server time's out. Oh, Andy White at the last throw puts it on the front row. Pips Harry Hartley-Price by half a tenth.
Great job there from Andy White. Great time coming in at the end there. So fair play to him on that. Matthias Simoni stopping out on the racetrack. Corish, Phil Giles is still carrying on. And Jared Love as well, but Love's not really improving.
Yeah, looks like he's going to take pole once again. The man in the Mustang. So Andy White nearly sticks it on pole, and Mr. Giles comes to a stop. That's it. Qualifying is over for round 3 of the Clark St. James Tanso Racing Group GT3 Season 6. The halfway point here at Portimao in the Algaarve, around about an hour's drive from Faro International Airport. So we have a 45-minute race ahead of us here at this circuit. And, well, I think really we need to wait until, well, they should very shortly time it out, and it's just hit 15 minutes. So that's it. Session is done and dusted. And I think with that, we've got a grid, haven't we, JP?
We will have very, very shortly when we change over. Yes, dear sir. I'm afraid I can't bring it up any more than that as well. P4 Boo, says Connor Pink, in the AMS, that is. Yeah, dude, it's not too bad. Jesus Christ, you got 45 minutes. Chill out, mate. There's plenty of time.
It's sort of like the aggression's come out before they've even had the red mist go down.
I know. It's like, oh, P4 Boo. Psh, 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 psh. I'm like, dude, you got 45 minutes. Chill out. Blimey. You can move up quite easily. You know what I mean? Won't worry too much. And you got a pit stop to contend with, so, you know, look on the bright side, buddy. You know what I mean?
It could be worse. It could be worse. You couldn't have registered that at all.
Yeah, you could be at the back like Chris Radmore. Jesus.
Yep. So here's the grid. Luis Martinez starts again from pole position overall for the 3rd time this season. But the HB Racing #1 Mustang of Andy White lines up on the front row alongside Harry Hartley-Price and Matthias Smolny in the 2 Porsches round at row 2. Another Porsche in the form of Craig Corish rounds out the inside of row 3, joined by Peter Duke in the Acura. Wayne Douglas, Phil Giles and Sean Clark round out your top 9 in the pros. Jared Love from Scotland in the #10 Mustang puts it on Ampole once again ahead of Gareth Newton. And Joseph Lopez rounding out your top 6 rows. Row 7, Connor Pink and Tim Walters round out row 7. And then we've got Christopher Haynes and Mike Walters next up. On row 8, row 9, Dave Collier and Mark Wesley with Adrian Hadfield and Christopher Radmore rounding out your 20-strong grid. Radmore and Douglas yet to ready up. Douglas does. Radmore hasn't got long until the server decides to boot him into pit lane.
He does have another 55 seconds. And as I know, that's long enough to run and go to the toilet.
There we go. He's there.
Good job.
There. Right, so they're going to start them on the approach into Torre Vip here at turn 5, which starts the incline up the hill, and it's the Porsche pace car that is going to lead them away. So at the halfway point of the season, Luis Martinez and Jared Love are your current points leaders, both 2 wins apiece. And the way that the scoring works, folks, if you are new to this series, 45 points for a win if you are in pro, if you are in AM. So we don't throw them all together and make a bit of a goulash in regards to the point scores. We make sure that the points are provided per class. So it's 45 for a win, 42 for second, 40 for I think it's 39 for third, if I remember correctly. But the drivers now are going to start getting those tyres up to some kind of temperature, and the air and the track temperature are pretty much the same, 18.3 degrees Celsius. And what are you thinking right now, JP, about how this might go on lap 1?
Okay, here's my prediction. Okay, White doesn't get over the top of Martinez like he needs to. Martinez goes and wins by 15 seconds.
Right. And in AM?
Connor Pink's going to stop. He's going to put on his big boy pants, shall we say, and take the win.
And do the dummy on Jared Love in the process. Sorry, I've got so many names going through my head after the weekend just gone. 44 races at Karting de Fang. That was not exactly a picnic. Hence why my voice is sounding like it is now. But we're going through Sagres at turn number 14, and the Porsche pace car will peel into pit road, meaning that Martinez is going to decide to bolt. He was trying to put the feelers out for Mr. White, And he's going to wait until that pace car peels in. So through in towards Galp. Turn number 15. That's 45 minutes of racing around here in Portimao in GT3 machinery. 20 cars in total. 9 Pro, 11 AM. Pace car peels off into pit lane. And now it's a case of when does Martinez bury the throttle? They're all being a little bit patient. And now here we go, up to full speed. Martinez has got the jump on everybody, including Mr. White. Red lights on.
You're green.
And we're green. There we go. Martinez once again. 0.4 of a second. As Smolny, and that's Corish. Corish has got through on Hartley Price. Smolny's in P3. So Harry Hartley Price. Oh, that's going to be into turn 3 at Lagos. And well, White has already clawed in Martinez. That Mustang has got some waft in that engine. And now going the run down into Torre Vip. Martinez and White line astern. We ride on board with the number 1 HB Racing Mustang. As Hartley Price gets back through on Corish, retakes 4th position. Now through into 6. And it's a quick right-hander here at 7 before hard on the brakes here at Samsung at turn 8. And Martinez, well, he's got in a bit of a fright. He's got yellow and purple in his rearview mirrors as Andy White is trying to chase him down. Into Craig Jones at turn 9. Portimao coming up at turns 10 and 11 at the top part of the circuit. And I was not expecting that. Meantime, oh, wobble there from Andy White. You said about putting that throttle down, James, a little bit too early. Andy nearly had a code brown. Meantime, Connor Pink has jumped up to 9th place and leads in the AMs.
Told you, that was my prediction. I'm sorry, Sean. Joseph dropped down the order. He's now down 1 place into 4th in the AMs at the moment, but Connor Pink does lead the AMs in that McLaren. He's going after Sean Clark. He's looking quicker than Phil Giles. One of the things we are going to pick up on Hartley Price in the Porsche.
Lead.
The Porsche as well. Martinez there at the same time with White tucked in behind him.
Oh my goodness me, Andy White is giving Luis Martinez a bit of a scare like we saw last time out at the Glen. Martinez not out of the woods yet. We're only 2 minutes in lap 2 at Lagos at turn 3. White trying to look left, trying to look right. Martinez is parking it on the racing line. The driver with XBD Racing representing Spain now puts the hammer down hard in that Ferrari 296 GT3. Matthias Smolny, oh, he stuck his nose up there up the inside of Mr. White as it's the 2 DC motorsport cars alongside each other, and Wayne Douglas gets past teammate Peter Duke. That's the change for 6th between the 2 Acuras.
Yeah, great job from Wayne Douglas. Made his move up. Wasn't really hard fought from Peter Duke, to be blatantly honest. I think he just kind of allowed him through, but there is the class splits. Pink 1.4 seconds ahead of Love. Andy White not that much ahead of Martinez though. Sophie Alves, I said to you, speak my language. He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
Touche on that one. Now through turn number 13, and then it's going to be here through the right-hander at Sagres before they go down the hill in towards Galp, and it's going to be a run that the Mustang might like. Downhill, and it's a fast right-hander. Then you bury the throttle as you come out of the corner. The Mustang's going to have the slipstream and the naturally aspirated advantage across the line to complete lap 2. White is closing rapidly, but needs to be a little bit closer to Martinez to try and maybe have an opportunity to throw it through into turn number 1, through Primera at T1, now into 2, now into Lagos at turn 3. White is there or thereabouts, but I don't think... you said about the Mustang being good around this circuit. Well, Andy White is definitely proving that. Jared Love, in the meantime, has closed the gap by about, well, 0.4 of a second. Back to Connor Pink, who continues to lead the AM classification. But the top 4 at the moment, Luis Martinez, Andy White, Matthias Smolny, and new fastest lap holder, Harry Hartley Price, 1:43.578, but there has been drama for 113 HV Racing Porsche of Craig Corish.
Yeah, Dave Collier's also at the moment. So He's had a problem as well.
Oh, well, that would explain it.
Yep. It definitely would, unfortunately for him. And Phil Giles is another one that's just had a little bit of a problem in behind Connor Pink.
Okay, so...
Oh, that's a Porsche doing Porsche things.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
Well, Craig Corish has rejoined the circuit, and he's about 40, close to 48 seconds behind the race leader. Martinez now starting to break away, as White is going to try and see if he can chase him down. That's going to be easier said than done. Smiley and Hartley Price, and then it's Douglas, Duke, Clark, Giles, and Corish that round out your runners in Pro. It's then Pink, Love, Newton, Lopez, Haynes, Tim and Mike Walters. Then we've got Adrian Hadfield, Mark Wesley, Dave Collier and Chris Radmore that round out your 11 strong runners in the GT3 AM side of things. And oh well, here's Chris Haynes in good old Rexy trying to get through on Phil Giles in the Martini Special. This is this is going to be the rundown to Tony Vip, and Chris Haynes might fancy a dive up the inside line to take a bite. Is he going to? Yes, he is. And well, both of them. That was a nice little exchange there as well, even though they're in different classes.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a bit surprised. The problem is that they're both in Porsches, so they're both probably not going faster than each other. Really, the Porsche's top end is not good in conjunction with some of the other cars. I think that's probably why Smolny and Hartley Price are waiting for White to make a mistake, because the Porsches have not quite got the same grunt as the Mustang. So yeah, I think they'll struggle down the straights, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they've just gone through turn number 13, so Smolny dived up the inside, but it's Hartley Price who dives up the inside of Smolny through at Sagres at turn 14. So a nice move there by the number 98 as the number 26 ends up in 4th position down the hill into Galp at turn 15, over the crest and then across the line. So it could be a bit more of a
Porsche
teammate battle.
Yeah, Porsche on Porsche. It's not going to be a Porsche on Mustang. It's got too much gruff, Alex, to be honest. It would literally mean a second and a half from Hartley Price to even remotely get there. I think that would be one of the things that they would have to look at. But yeah, I think the Porsche just hasn't got the gruff to keep up with that Mustang.
Yeah, so we are coming up to 7.5 minutes in of this 45-minute race. And Harry Hartley Price trying to close that gap on to Andy White. Oh, Sean Clark has just dropped it, I'm afraid. And that is the number 68. He's dropped to the bottom of the pros. Let's see what happens. Is this going to be Porsche doing Porsche things again? Turns the car in.
Yeah, It's got it up. Problem was, he got it up on 2 wheels coming over the crest. If you have a look on his left side's over the curb, and then it raises off the floor. Just there, and then unfortunately it just completely goes unfortunately on that one. So there we go.
Right, leaders coming down through into turn 12, and then the tight left-hand hairpin here at turn 13. So Martinez not quite getting away that much, but as the race progresses, it'll more than likely come to Luis Martinez in terms of just pure outright ballistic speed.
Yep. Martinez is just on his bike. White's going to keep away from the Porsches. There's no way the Porsches are going to get near him on pace. They're going to have to bump draft. It's going to have to be a full NASCAR style there, and then they're going to have to hope that White makes a mistake.
Yeah, just try and pick up pieces when someone has a little bit of a faux pas. But yeah, still pretty interesting between these three. Harry Hartley Price looks to be the braver of the 2 Porsches, but Peter Duke is still catching up with them, so I won't count out the Acura quite just yet.
Yeah, I don't really feel the Acura's got quite the pace there, so you know that could be one of the issues. However, Mike Walters has just taken that Acura down to the beach and has just spat sand all across the track there. I don't know if he packed his bucket and spade before he went out there, But unfortunately for him, he has just brought it back onto the race circuit. Hartley Price, again, still got Schmolny tucked in, and all the while Andy wants just escaping.
Yeah. I love that analogy you just put there as well.
Oh, White's made a mistake.
No, that was through at Portimao, and then there's a kick up of dust, I'm afraid. And here goes Mr. Douglas up the inside at turn 13. And nearly scrubbing paint off each other's door handles there as White keeps hold of fourth. But I don't think that's going to be for much longer, because Douglas is right where he needs to be, within a tenth and a half of the Porsche just in front. Well, you could just sort of see how quickly that he's just catching him. I'm wondering if there's a deficiency here for the Mustang. And Jared Love was saying, well, I've never driven the track, said I'm not quite looking forward to it. Probably because he might have done some laps. But in the meantime, Schmolny trying to go up the inside of Hartley Price through at turn 3 at Lagos. Hartley Price straight away counter-attacks, and Schmolny is now able to bring back in White, and now here comes Douglas. Four-way scrap over second as they head to Torre Vip.
White's going to get through. Told you, Porsche just has not got it over that Mustang. It hasn't got the top end. It's got the control, but it's got no speed in it. And this is not a circuit in conjunction for speed with a Mustang in and around you. You know, I know I said at the bottom the Porsche could do okay, but I think looking at it now, this is probably quite a bad track for a Porsche in conjunction for top speed needs. And I wouldn't be surprised if Douglas just eats up Schmolny at the same time. White's going to be back ahead of this pack very, very shortly, probably coming out of Galp and that run all the way round down into Primera. I think the Mustang will get him, and the Acura is going to sweep round the outside now of Wayne Douglas, round the outside of Schmolny, looking into the left-hander, nothing doing at the moment, got his nose chopped up, going to try that outside line round Galp. I tell you what, that Acura's got to be blinking stable to be running around the outside there.
Yeah, very much the case as the battle rages on. So 12 minutes down, 33 to go. We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but these drivers are starting to put on a little bit of a show here. Douglas really starting to use the speed of that Acura NSX GT3. Won't be close enough to make a move in the first part of the circuit here through turns 1, 2 and 3 before we head into the left at 4, and then it's over to Torre Vip once again. But yeah, I mean, the standard here in comparison with a lot of championships that I've seen, not necessarily commentated on, where every single race that happens, you just hope that you're going to get through it. But well, Peter Duke nearly dive bombed his own teammate there, JP.
Well, that's one way of making sure you get round. I think that's the thing here, isn't it, for them at the end of the day?
Yeah.
You know, you don't really want to be trying to do that. You want to try and get these cars going forward, and for the DC boys, it's better they are going forward than jostling around each other. You know, you want to go and clear Schmolny and in your first instinct, but then you've got to try and get as close as you can to White, which is not going to be easy, because White is going to eat up his teammate of Hartley Price here very, very shortly. You can see him closing in lap by lap here, and I think for White, it's still coming. I don't think Hartley Price has got anything for him. He was half a second slower than White on that last time around. He was 1.8 seconds quicker, but that was due to the fact that White had made a mistake. And I think, again, running off through Galp and down that start-finish line, Hartley Price is going to struggle, and it looks like Phil Giles and Tim Waters has had a problem between them.
As you like to say, a little bit of a ta-ta-ta.
I don't know what they've done, but whatever they've done, I hope they've been nice to each other.
Douglas right on the back of Schmolny coming down the start. Finish straight, pulls to the right-hand side. This is going to be close to the wire. And the move, is it on? It's getting a bit close. They run paddles. Oh, and a second touch from Peter Duke sends Matthias Schmolny spinning into the gravel.
Wow. He literally just hurtly pulled off there, didn't he? Watch, they get a little bit argy-bargy. Douglas runs into Schmolny, really, and then Duke just smacks him.
It's like, And off you go. It's like
Yeah.
playing Big Break with John Virgo and Jim Davison.
See you later. Unfortunately for him. But
Big break.
Yeah, I remember that program. Phil Giles and Tim Waters. What did you get yourselves up to here? Are they gonna? Is this gonna be together?
I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh dear. Martini into Hoonigan.
Yep. That's a weird concept we don't really want to think about. As Hartley
No.
White
But
is going
I'm using paint schemes as an association.
Okay.
And if anything involves Connor Pink, who's now got Jordan Love right on his case in the battle for AM class lead, and they are less than 0.3 of a second apart. So, well, the script hasn't quite been completely written just yet. We've still got 29.5 minutes to go, and it's seconds out. Ding ding, round 35.
Yeah,
They've been at each other's throats on the track more time than I've had hot roast dinners on a Sunday afternoon.
And my worry is the fact of what is Jared Love going to do with Connor Pink here. That Mustang has got the same amount of power as the McLaren. You know, it's very equal, really, in top end. They're two of the fastest GT3s. For Love, is he going to dummy his way past Pink again? And if he is, then we're going to blame Sophie in YouTube chat for the shocking livery that she's made Connor put on his car with Vegemite on it. If it had another white stripe, I would say it's Senna-esque. But I think, unfortunately, it's got Vegemite blasted on it, which, no, Sophie, no.
It's got Vegemite on the front, on the bonnet, both side doors, and if for those eagle-eyed of you, you'll see it on the top part of the rear wing. What is it? I'm trying to see what it says on the on the rear wing.
Whoa!
Oh, Jared, calm down, son. There we go.
Chukasiki.
I was waiting for Chucker's shrimp on there, to be honest.
Oh, he's gonna get.
He's going for it. He's going for it. Oh no, he's gone. Oh, he's gone rallying. He's gone rallying. Oh, that's the slow down penalty.
Oh, absolutely. Jared Love there. Got a little bit of a jinky dinky on him. And unfortunately for him, got a little bit loose coming in through the corner, took the curb. Car's just going, he corrects it onto the brakes, over the grass. He's trying to stop it and just misses the Porsche in the meantime. Don't disparage Vegemite. Yeah, I've got to be honest, Soph. I think me and you need to have a conversation. I'm not quite sure we've got the same taste buds, and one of them is not round brown stuff that looks like dried up coffee in the bottom of my coffee cup in the morning. So there we go.
Enough. There we go. Vegemite discussion done. End of.
Rank. I'm sorry, Soph. It's not good.
However, well, Mr. White and Mr. Douglas are going at it, and that's allowing Hartley Price to have a little bit of daylight at the end of the tunnel. We're not that far away from half time, but Douglas up the inside at Torre Vip. That was brave, and he definitely had a big old set of you-know-whats down there to throw that move. But Andy White is going to have the inside line here for turn 7, but Douglas has the momentum. That Mustang, I'll be completely honest with you, yes, it's got that waft, it's got that push with that 5.4 litre engine, but speed and power, Jeremy Clarkson, it can only get you so far around this track. If you've got a car like an Acura, if you've got a car like a Porsche or a Ferrari, then you're going to have a better handling car around this circuit. Now, these drivers have got to stay in these cars for the entirety of the season. And, you know, the Glen showed the strength of the Mustang, especially if your name is Jared Love. Even Andy White was showing some good pace as well. But it's tracks like this where there's elevation changes, rapid changes of direction, say from Torre Vip. You've got a left-hand hairpin, you've got a left-hand kink, a right-hander, hard on the brakes, right-hander. Then you've got a left and 2 rights down the hill, another braking zone going into turn 13. And that's exactly what you said earlier on, as we've got Gareth Newton and Jared Love in pit lane from the AMS at the 25.5-minute mark.
Yeah, that's going to release Connor to go and run away and go as fast as he can. If Sophie is pregnant, I'll let her off. But that's the only time I'm letting her off eating Vegemite. Other than that, not happening. So there you go. But we'll see what goes on here as Connor's going to try and escape up the road. Douglas is going to try and get straight away from Andy White.
So Connor Pink is going to try and do his Houdini trick, a bit like Mr. Martinez has been doing it all season long, and he's 8 seconds up the road from Harry Hartley Price. So yeah, but we've both said this, haven't we, JP? Martinez is just on another level. He
is at the moment, and 7.9 seconds up the road. I did say 15 seconds, give or take. And it's not quite over even there as well. But I did also get Connor Pink leading in the AM, so you can say that to you all as well. So well done me. Thank you very much for that.
All I'm going to say is, ka-ching, another mark in the book for JP. There we go.
I know. There we go.
So, Mateus Smolny. Now, obviously, after that little excursion after the DC Motorsport double team is not running anymore. He's not taking any further part of the race, and what does that mean, folks? Not many points are going to come his way. I don't know what exact. Well, I mean, did he park it straight away? I think after
he jumped back to pit lane. He entered the pit lane. He had a crash there. Exactly. Did he? That was after his little sent off into the underworld, wasn't it?
Yeah, when he was yeeted into the shadow realm.
Yeah, there.
But I mean, he had onto the brakes,
and then he goes in pit lane and quits.
I think the words "felt aggrieved" probably sound pretty relevant right now, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
There's another two that I can think of, but I'm not going to mention it on this broadcast. But they're not. It's not un-PC, let's say.
Yeah, no, we're not past the 9 o'clock watershed, so we've got to be nice. To be blatantly honest, because let's face it, you know, we could put it out there and have done with it, but we'll see. Andy White, Wayne Douglas, anyway. Hartley Price still within a few seconds of each other. Dave Collier is chasing down Tim Walters, and we'll see how they get on as well. But Schmalny is out. It's kind of all settled down at the moment. Mike Walters is the first. No, he's not. Jared Love is the first one that's pitted. So, come on, Connor. Have I to remind? Oh my God! I thought I didn't talk English, Teresa, but that is shocking. Remind you about the family heavy right foot again. She says.
Yes, you can remind us all you like, Teresa. So that just. I mean, the thing is that let's have a look. What's Connor's fastest lap? 1:44.573. It's running in the 1:45.5s. Lopez has just done a 1:45.6 previous lap, and has just done a 1:45.5. So it's ebbing and flowing a little bit, isn't it? Really.
I think that's the thing. Yeah. It is a little bit. It's going to be interesting when he goes in, Connor, and find out how close he's going to come to Jared Love. At the moment, he's got 43.5 seconds. Pit stop. Well, they say pit lane time's 48, but that's probably give or take a few seconds in and around that. So if I was Connor, I would look at going in this lap and to try and cover off everything that's gone on. So, you know, that's what I would do.
Yeah. So just under 21.5 minutes remaining here at round 3. And Connor Pink now currently running in 6th position. I think is that no, I don't think that's the highest we've had an AM at one point in one of the races so far. I think Jared Love at one point was either P4 or P5. Okay, here's Mark Wesley. Oh, it's Porsche doing Porsche things again, isn't it?
Yeah, he's loose already. And around he goes. He got that unsettled so early as well. And it really kind of starts where he starts coming into here. and he gets that car sliding. You can see the back end just stepping out on him a little bit. He's had to correct it once, and then he commits to the corner. The problem is, by committing to the corner, the car isn't settled. He then goes and puts it over the curb, and then unfortunately for him, he does go round. So it was already a little bit loose. Connor in pit lane, which is what we said. I would have done that as well to cover off Jared Love, who's 44 seconds back. So it's going to be very, very tight. Connor's going to get that Vegemite sandwich stopped and not let it slip past the box, which is what he does do. And then he's going to have to sit and wait and see where Jared Love comes out.
Oh dear!
I didn't say anything. What are you laughing at?
No, it's just when you started talking about Vegemite again.
Well, it's hard to not talk about Vegemite when he's on his blinking car, isn't it? Right, he's on his way out of the box anyway. Out in the right-hand side, we're going to find Jared Love very, very shortly. Love's on his way around the final corner. Where is he? He's going to be popping up over the hill any minute. There he is.
There he is.
And at the moment, Connor Pink does get out in front of Jared Love and also Craig Corish. So good job from Connor. Can he now make it last? The problem is he's come out on tyres that's been sort of cooled down. Corish is already on him, and he needs to make sure he's getting going here. So hopefully we should be all good.
Yep, so that means now that Joseph Lopez is leading the way in the AM classification. He's about nearly 12 seconds ahead of Christopher Haynes, who started 15th on the grid. Adrian Hadfield has made up the most places so far out of any one driver. Wayne Douglas now pits from P3. So, yeah, Adrian Hadfield started 19th, now up to 10th place. So, we'll see what happens, but Connor Pink being chased down by Craig Corish at the moment. Corish not having the greatest run of luck, like we saw a little bit earlier on. So Douglas is on his marks. Joseph Lopez now has dived into pit lane on lap number 16. So is Chris Haynes. Just a few more drivers yet to see them come in for their mandatory pit, well, their respective pit stops. So Martinez running on 15.5 laps so far in the Ferrari 296. Then Harry Hartley-Price in the Porsche. Andy White in the good old Stang.
Oh, they're coming down on the right-hand side. Lopez is on his way out. I think they're going to get him, though. Connor's up to full speed. Lopez is not up to full speed yet. The line's going to be there. Connor's going to go through, I think, already. They have, all three of them have gone through on Joseph Lopez, and unfortunately Lopez didn't get him, unfortunately, there, Sean, and he's going to have to try and go again.
Well, as they say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Just keep on plugging away. And we've seen it before, not just on this series, but quite a few that we've commentated on together, JP, that you could be as calm and as focused as you like, but there'll always be that one little imbalance that sets it over the limit, doesn't it? And then that person will go like, why did I do that? Hartley-Price and White cover each other off in the pit lane phase. So at the minute, that makes Martinez. Oh, Peter Duke has gone in. What about Sean Clark? Not sure if he has yet. We'll find out very shortly. Adrian Hadfield, Dave Collier, Phil Giles, the only other drivers that have now not taken their pit stop as of yet.
Sean Clark is going to be coming in shortly. There we go, he's in. So there we go. On that one, Hadfield is probably going to follow him in at the same time. So they should be going in. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't think anybody's going to come out. Collier's going to go in as well. Giles is probably going to go in. That's going to release Pink again. He's not going to get out in front of the three in front. In fact, if anything, Wayne Douglas jumped Andy White, and Douglas has gone ahead now of White. So Connor Pink moves himself back up into that 6th place, up 7 places with Jared Love tucked up behind him.
Yeah. So that is going to mean that Luis Martinez is the only driver that has actually not effected a pit stop, and he's got a lead of over 50, nearly 53 seconds over Harry Hartley Price, but with 15 minutes and 40 still to go, who knows what might happen in this particular instance. Anything could happen. The drivers are fully concentrated, ready to go out there and race their hearts out, and that's what is really, really, what any driver will do. They'll want to just race their hearts out. And now Jarrett Love closing in. Oh, have you got the Jaws music you can play in earphones so no one can hear it, JP?
Oh no, I haven't. But they're going to go side by side. There's going to be contact. Oh, Connor Pink, you rascal, you. Got his elbows out. Gave Jared Love a little bit of a love kiss on the side there. So, old Jared had to back out a little bit of that one, because Connor gave him a little bit of an elbow in the rib cage. Hartley Price, Douglas, White, they're all still fighting out for second, third and fourth. But I said 15 seconds on Martinez. He's got 50. So,
Yeah, I would probably imagine that all...
Oh, it's coming down to 12.
Yeah. So Martinez now having pitted. That's everyone having done their pit stop here at the Autodromo Internacional do Algarve. Not just the only main race circuit in Portugal. You've also got the original home of the the Portuguese Grand Prix, the Estoril circuit.
Yes. Lovely circuit, that one.
Yeah, for the place where Ayrton Senna took his first race win in a Formula 1 car, and it was with Lotus back in the good old JPS Lotus days when the liveries were so iconic.
Absolutely, it was back then when they also drove the car and didn't rely on buttons and mechanics.
Yep.
Who am I?
So, Wayne Douglas. He was very, very lucky he didn't go barreling over that curb and heading straight into the side of Harry Hartley Price, who still holds on. Craig Corrish now closing in on Gareth Newton.
Well, he was right up until we got that. I'm not quite sure what that corner entry was, to be blatantly honest, going into the right-hander at Lagos, but he managed to get it and got the power down and has managed to come back through again, so fair play to him. Douglas is running side by side with Hartley Price coming off the final corner. I think Douglas may have been a little bit early. He's going to find out who's got the pace there. Is it the Acura on the left? Is it the Porsche on the right? Under the bridge they go. It's going to be elbows out, door banger plenty. Hartley Price dives in for the corner. Douglas goes very wide and manages to get the job done. Whether or not he was on track, we'll leave that up to the argument after.
Yeah, it's not our job to, we can give our opinion on race incidents, but we
give
leave
an
it
opinion
to
on this one if you want, mate.
Yeah, you two need to calm it down, right?
You go and tell them to stop. I dare you.
Yeah, well, I think Jared should be thinking of remember what happened last week?
Yeah, well, if he jinxes Connor again, he's going to be in trouble, isn't he? Go on, Connor, keep it back, says Sophie there as well. Sophie cheering him on from the living room, looking rather pregnant as well. And only discovering that she can't roll over anymore, because if she does, she'll be like a turtle stuck on a shell.
Oh.
What? I know what you're laughing about. That's what pregnancy is. Ask my wife.
No. I was just about to say the words "no comment."
Hey, it's true.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as when my sister was having her two kids. The same thing. Like she would go, if I do that, I'm not getting up.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have to help me.
Yeah, they're the only ones I know that turn around and go, we'll go for a walk, and then they look like penguins out of Bristol Zoo. It's just like a waddle in the end, to be blatantly honest.
Or the film Madagascar.
Oh yeah, there is that one. Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. That's what pregnant ladies do when you ask them to get off the sofa. You know what I mean?
Now, who is that in front of these? I don't know,
but whoever it is really getting in the way at the moment.
That was probably Chris Radmore, I think, and the only other Ferrari on the grid.
Yeah, it was Chris.
So, 11 minutes to go. We are on lap number 20 of this race, and the battle resumes. That's Radmore into the pit lane. And Pink goes to the right-hand side. Love follows in the wheel
Stay
tracks
there.
to keep the toe.
He's going to
Stay
dummy you back
there.
again. He's going to dummy you again. Be careful.
Oh, big air under the front axle of Jared Love as he hit the sausage curb there.
Yeah, if he's the problem is.
Oh, he's diving! Oh.
Connor's doing the same thing he did last time out as well.
I know.
Goes to the inside and then leaves the door open. And unfortunately, he's going to get jinked there as well. He's not wrong. I'm not wrong. Thank you. I've been, well, I haven't been for it, obviously, Soph, but I've got kids. Jared's got him far too hot there. You ain't getting that stop, son. And then, unfortunately, he goes round Torre Vip and has to kind of get there as well. Darling, don't you worry about it. My wife got stuck on an airbed once because we were waiting for a bed to come and the bed went down overnight. And I was working nights at the time and she was still there at 6 in the morning after it went down at 10 o'clock at night. And she had one foot up, feet up in the air, her head was up in the air and her belly was on the floor. She'd been stuck there for about 8 hours, bless her.
Oh.
I know. She was there crying on the floor and I was laughing. Too busy laughing.
Oh.
Dude, it just reminded me of a turtle on a shell. She couldn't go anywhere.
Oh,
I could have left her there all day and just brought her food.
You could have done, but then hell hath no fury like a pregnant woman's scorn.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have, you know, it was one of them, wasn't it? You know what I mean? I was waiting. Lucky enough, funny enough, the new double bed turned up the day after, so that weren't too bad, but she was stuck there for 8 hours, bless her. But there you go, it was quite amusing. As these guys are starting to settle down, me and Alex just go off in a little bit of a tangent, talking about my pregnant wife, or was pregnant wife.
Standard.
As, yeah, standard.
Just talking about other things, folks.
Yeah, as we wait for Love to get back to battling away with Connor. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you're at home, but we are trying to make the best of a bad situation. And it looks like one of the bad situations happened up front because Wayne Douglas has had a bit of a ta-ta-ta with himself. And unfortunately, has gone round or has caused himself drama. He's gonna hit him. There he goes.
Well,
unfortunately for him.
And now here comes Andy White. And well, Mr. Martinez is now 16.6 behind, has 16.6
Oh, he's
in
gonna
front
hit
of
him.
this pedal.
He's bailed out.
Andy White goes straight on. Oh, he's clobbered the wall as well.
Oh, he bailed out. It was either going to be bail out or smack him. And watch, he gets this close. He actually bails out. Look. Oh, swing, butter. And unfortunately, he's not stopping that Mustang off the side. So, unfortunately for him, that is it.
And he's gone straight to the garage.
Yeah.
And now this has shades of the Glen all over again.
I know.
And well, Jared got through, and then just like Nyon came to a complete halt on the corner, and then Connor just went, well, he's standing still, I better have him, and then bosh, straight in the back bumper. So there's going to be, that was through Sagres at turn 14, but Jared Love is leading the way. That is exactly what's going to happen when you have two drivers, one of which who has 2 victories, one who could have had a victory had it not been for what happened last week. But it was, I have to say though, Jared actually teed that up really, really well, didn't he?
Oh, he sent it in deep, dude. He sent it in deep and he gave Connor something to think about. The something to think about was, you're either going to let me past or you're going to hit me. And that Connor's got it all wrong again, dude. Soph, go in, stroke his hair, tell him woosa in his ear roll, settle him down a little bit or something here, Love, because he would have caught him if he hadn't kept making mistakes. And he's made a couple now, and unfortunately, Jared Love, the Scotsman, has unfortunately cleared the Englishman at the moment. I'm going to presume he's English there as well. He's got a UK and I flag. That will probably give me an idea. He's even one of them. So there we go. But he just needs to settle down. Sophie needs to go and tickle his earbuds and tell him woosa.
Fair enough. 6.5 minutes to go, and well, the lead at the front end of the field is very much bigger than the 15 seconds that Mr. James Parfitt predicted. So well done, JP. Well done indeed.
Thank you.
Chapeau. Meantime, Douglas and Hartley Price are battling for the top spot of best of the rest at the minute. And Sophie saying, "Come on, Connor, get back up there." Well, he's about. Unfortunately, Sophie, he's now a second and a half behind. So Jared just using the sheer gruff of that car that V8 Mustang. And Teresa's just gone, most definitely English! Exclamation point.
All right,
There we go.
Teresa, no need for the points. We get it, love. We get it. God blimey, they're aggressive tonight in YouTube chat, aren't they? All these Connor Pink fans. I think they've all had too much Vegemite. There we go. They all want to settle down a bit. Yeah, I tell you. I got a pregnant lady and a mother. I'm doomed, isn't it?
Right, why are you flashing the headlights there, Mr. Hartley Price?
He's putting
Probably
him off.
because, well,
he's
either
trying.
that, or he's trying to put him off, or he's aggrieved about something that happened in a past life.
Maybe.
Yeah, you never know. But they have got a back market in front, which is the Hoonigan Pink edition. So they managed to get through rather quickly out of Samsung.
Tim Waters.
Yep. So Tim Waters.
Cornish.
Craig Cornish has not been having a lovely time. He's going to go down the hill. Let me guess, he's going to lose it all his own.
It was already snapping.
Yeah.
He's going to catch it here, but watch the wiggle after this. There's one bit of it sliding. He gets onto the curb. It's going to snap back the other way. And unfortunately for him, as he's trying to get it round the corner, he's rotating. Snap, snap. See you later. Adios, senore.
So, yep, Craig Cornish's race has gone from great to not so great to, oh, I'm closing. No, you're not.
Connor Pink's made more errors because he's now 2.2 seconds back. So, just to let you know.
So that is a sense of foreboding. However, the battle for P2 in the pro category still very much hotly contested between Messrs Douglas and Hartley Price as they go through into Lagos at 3. So I would think that after this one we might have possibly
one more.
We're going to have one more. So yeah, when we hit 3.5 minutes now, our leader at the moment is way up the road through at Samsung at the minute. So it will be 3 laps to go, 3 laps including this one until we hit the checkered flag. So we're currently on lap 24, so we should be completing 26 laps difference approximately. And that's how you deal with a back marker. Back marker stays on the racing line, and the 2 pros go, right, hello, goodbye, see tar dust.
Yeah. It's going to be 26 laps, I think we're going to have. Martinez is going to cross the line well within that 2-minute mark, as he's now going around the outside, just going around Sagres, actually going through Galp. So definitely going to be 1 and 1 more. And Wayne Douglas has got 1 and 1 more to defend from Hartley Price, and Connor's got 1 and 1 more to defend to try and catch Jared Love, but he's losing time at 2.77 seconds back at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like, say, 5 or 6 laps, you could probably say, yeah, I think there's an outside chance. Now, at this moment in time, it's like, oh, hell no. You know, it's just like, it ain't going to happen
as
much
much as you sit back and think he's got an opportunity, unless Jared makes some glaring error. Unfortunately, I think Jared Love might wrap that up for the second week in a row there.
Yeah, well, he's, what is it, 2.9 seconds up the road? So
yeah, give or take 2.9.
Yeah, that says to me, I think that is probably going to be pretty much done and dusted. But what is not done and dusted, well, we're going to go to replay as the Martini Porsche of Phil Giles. This is on the run down to Torre Vip.
Too quick.
Oh, outbraked himself there a little bit.
Too fast. Unfortunately for Phil. There's a lot of Porsches doing the errors this evening.
Yeah, I would have thought they would have been a little bit more stable, but the Acura in the hands of Wayne Douglas doing a really sturdy, stellar job. You know, not making any wrong moves, or well, apart from the slight ta-ta-ta we saw him and Mr. Duke have with Mateusz Smolny a little bit earlier on, when the Polish driver was sent spinning around like a whirling top into the kitty litter off of turns 1 and 2. And there is Luis Martinez. So 2 laps remaining.
1 lap.
The 1 lap. Oh, okay. Yep. Thank you.
That's okay. Nobody heard anything. It's fine. Just ignore it.
Shh.
Not on YouTube for everybody to hear forever, but it's fine.
No.
Moving on.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Exhibit A. And here goes Douglas to the outside of Hartley Price. And, well, that was a bit anticlimactic there, I think.
Yeah, that was kind of a half-hearted move. Unfortunately, though, he should have probably just full bore committed to it, because he's now dropped back a little bit here as well for him. So it looks like that battle's done as at the same time. But might as well have a parade lap with Luis Martinez, who was going around the left-hander before that run up to Samson. So,
the man of the moment, the man who we really haven't seen having... Well, he's been pressurised in the first few laps of race 2 at the Glen and now race 3 here at Portimao. But whatever you say about Luis Martinez, you cannot deny the calibre of this individual. Timer strikes 0. And will head his way down the hill in towards 12 and 13. And then he'll be up the short climb towards Sagres as the timer hits 0. And we're on lap 26 out of 26. Down the hill for the final time, it looks like we're going to go. So through Sagres, Martinez keeping it as far to the left as possible before heading down the hill out of the final corner. And checkered flag is out this time. 3 for 3 for Luis Martinez from XPD Racing. Pole position to pole position, lights out to checkered flag, and fastest lap of the race. Good, and it's going to be a good score for Harry Hartley Price, but Wayne Douglas has fallen a bit off a cliff and has ended up quite a time behind. However, Jared Love, the number 10 from good old Scotland, he's going to make it also. 3 out of 3 very shortly.
Yeah. Over he comes over the line. Great job from Jared Love. Him and Connor Pink, I don't think this is done yet. This isn't over, and he comes over the line there in first place. Connor comes over in second, and Lopez comes over in third. Sean, great job from him there as well. So Sean Mahoney, his biggest fan in YouTube chat. Where are you at, Sean? Get it, boy, he says. So as he comes over the line, Sean Clark there from HP Racing. Chris Haynes will be next, and Gareth Newton will follow in behind Dave Collier. Well done, Connor. Good effort. That's it, Mum. You tell him.
Still, that's another couple of points that he could do with having in comparison with his rival. Newton comes across the line to finish in 11th. And here is the Martini tribute band, courtesy of Phil Giles. He crosses the line, finishes 12th. Walters in 13th. What a disaster for Craig Corish. Ends up 14th at the end of the race. And it's going to be Chris Radmore that crosses the line and is the last 5 classified finishers. And that is, as they say, is that. So here are your provisional race results. The top 4 locked out by pros. Luis Martinez for XPD Racing once again takes pole position, fastest lap and the victory. Ahead of Harry Hartley Price in the number 98 with Wayne Douglas. Peter Duke, the top 4 in the AMs. Top 3 in the pros. Top 3 in the AMs. Jared Love also makes it 3 for 3. Joseph Lopez and Sean Clark round out your top 8 with Chris Haynes and Dave Collier running out the top 10. Gareth Newton, 11th. Phil Giles in 8th. Then we got Mike Walters with Craig Corish. Adrian Hadfield, Tim Walters, Chris Radmore and Andy White showing at the bottom of that 18 strong. Well, that 18 strong in terms of the drivers that finished, with Mark Wesley and Matthias Schmaldi retiring on laps 13 and 10 respectively.
Now, there you go. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a chat with some of our competitors this evening, and we're going to start it off here. Well, let's catch up with him, the man who's taken 3 out of 3 in the AMs. He did Connor again right towards the end of the race. Mr. Jared Love. Jared, welcome in, bud.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Brilliant, yeah. I'm glad that's over with. That's not a track I enjoyed.
No.
Except for the Mustang as well, but...
The Mustang looked like he enjoyed it, though.
Oh, no, I didn't. It was... it was the back end was a bit skittery, to say the least.
Oh, okay. 3 out of 3, and you got Connor again towards the end of the race. Is this going to be your regular MO?
Hopefully not. Hopefully I can get a decent qualifying session in and show the pace that I've got over him, and I don't need to, have to overtake him on track. Just stay ahead of him.
So you reckon you've got? Is that fighting talk, Jared? Do you reckon you've got the pace on him?
Rent free.
Oh.
He's going to start charging rent free in his head.
Oh.
He's defending for his life, but yeah, rent free.
Oh, okay. Well, fighter words there from the William Wallace of the GT3s of Tanso. Jared, anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go, buddy?
Shout out to the missus. She's let me race again this week, and then my mate Liam, I think, is tuned in for the live stream. So shout out to Liam.
Yeah, he did. When you overtook him, he went, "Done him." That's what he said.
He's a good lad.
Yeah, he didn't even put it lightly. He just put "done him." So
play.
Yeah, love that as well. So there we go. All right, Jared, you take care, buddy. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Cheers, guys.
Take care, mate. All right, now we're going to bring in Mr. Connor Pink, who for the second week in a row has been done by Jared Love towards the end of the race. Jared said he's living in Connor's head rent-free. What does Connor think about it all? These fighting words there, Connor. These fighting words.
That's what happens when you don't get penalised for being a dirty driver, I suppose. But,
clean, Connor, clean.
It's you don't get penalised for pit manoeuvring someone in a hairpin the last race. You dive up the outside a couple of times, and then you think you live in my head rent free. It's just, yeah, I don't know, man. He's dodgy all around when he's behind you. Try and defend against him, and he just dives you left, right, and centre. It's not easy to defend against, but I enjoy it.
Are you saying his overtake was questionable?
Not in the last race, no. I'm not sure about this race. I need to watch it back.
Okay, mate. What's the plan going forward then, buddy?
I don't know. He's impossible to beat. He's like a good second quicker than me anywhere else. I'll give him that. It's a difficult thing to defend against. When someone's so much quicker than you out of corners, that Mustang is so quick.
Yep.
It's one of those things. There's not much you can do about it.
All right, mate. Well, you just keep fighting around as well. Sophie's been in YouTube chat making me laugh, bro. She's now as well. Never mess with a pregnant lady. Dodgy. She's put now as well. There we go. Anyone you want to shout out, buddy, before we let you go?
Oh no, just Sophie, my mum, and everybody else that's listening and that. And yeah, we'll see again next week.
When are you due to become a father?
30th of June, I think it is.
All right, mate. Well, enjoy the sleep while you got it. I've got a couple of kids. Cheers. I would say a couple. I've got 5. Look, there was no electric. Stop it. So, enjoy the drive in a piece of quiet while you got it, bud.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, mate.
No worries, mate. Have a good one. I'll catch up with you soon.
Cheers. Bye.
All right, and the last of the AMs was third place, Joseph Lopez, who has come and joined us. Joseph, welcome in, bud. Joseph? Oh, no, he's not. I did move him. He's gone back again. Joseph, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. How's it going out there?
Pretty good. I was just saying I was alone the whole race, so I was just driving laps.
Just zooming.
Yeah, I was trying to catch up to Jared and all them up front, but I just couldn't do it.
Oh, dude, they are speedy. They are rapid up front between Jared Love and Connor Pink there. What's the plans going for you forward, buddy? What do you reckon? Where are you going to end up?
I don't know. I messed up pretty bad last week, so kind of blew it. And then, I'm trying to get back up with the guys from last week. I was hoping after everything that happened in that last lap at Watkins Glen, they would, maybe crash into each other or something. I could get ahead of them this time, but yeah, I'm just trying to keep up with the two of them and, just not spin out. I'm not used to the GT3s, so I'm just trying to learn that and keep control. That's my main thing.
All right, mate. Well, you pulled points on Chris Radmore and you pulled points on Adrian Hadfield, so that should bump you into third, I think, by my maths, but never trust a commentator's maths, mate. Don't, you know what I mean? That's just dodgy in its own right. So that's where I predict. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go, fella?
I don't know. My buddy Sean, he's been watching the races and cheering me on, so
every race you're in, buddy. Every race you're in, he's here. You know what I mean? You were in another one the other day as well, weren't you?
Yeah, the GR86s.
Yeah, he shouted you out on that one as well. So just to let you know.
Yep,
Oh,
good
no.
time.
Yeah, good time. All right, man. Take care. Have a good one. We'll catch up with you soon.
All right, see ya.
Bye. All right, let's have a chat with your second place pro, Mr. Harry Hartley Price. This is a man who might as well just have been in the Royal Rumble in WWE. He was in a fight all night. If it weren't for Andy White, it was with Wayne Douglas. And if it weren't for him, it was Peter Duke. And then it was back to Andy. And then it was back to Wayne. And then at the end, it finished on the Acura of Mr. Wayne Douglas. Let's welcome in Mr. Harry Hartley Price. Harry, welcome in, bud.
Hello, I need a lie down.
Oh, dude, do you need a head rub of the story?
I really do.
Oh, mate.
That was a mad race. Like, Andy's pedal broke. That's why I went flying off. He broke an active pedal, which is pretty insane. Simicube active pedal. And then I felt bad when I went too wide with the Acura, so I let him back. And yeah, I just didn't have a minute, but that was insane, that race. I got swarmed at the start, but I just thought I'd just stick with it. And yeah, he ended up pretty good.
It did end up pretty good, mate. Well done for you. You finished in second place, so that's a great job as well. What's the ambition, Harry? Where do we see yourselves? Lewis is, man, he's rapid, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like alien level, isn't he? Like, I can't get on his level at the moment. But to be fair, I think if what had happened at the start had not happened, if I stuck with him, I could have probably stayed with him for a few laps. But after a bit, when he's got his tyre temps up, I've got no chance. And I think that's the same with a lot of the field, to be fair. Saying that, though, Peter Duke and Wayne, they are absolutely flying. So, yeah, I'm just trying to keep with them guys at the moment. And Andy and Craig. I think Craig got a black flag.
All right, what
that's
for?
why he boxed. I don't know if he jumped the start, but I've had a look and it doesn't look like that. So I don't know, but unfortunately,
Mate, he did spin a few times as well, did Craig? So it wasn't all plain sailing. I've got an idea for you though, Harry. If we give Chris Radmore a free car change, we can ballast Lewis's Ferrari.
Yeah, do that.
I think that's fair, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely put a couple of kg on it. But
Yeah.
no, to be fair, it's the more the merrier in here. Like this league's getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, just bring him on. You know what I mean? I'll give it a go every time.
Absolutely. All right, mate. Well, is there anyone you want to shout out, Harry, before we let you go?
Just the dog once again.
Oh, okay,
like
mate.
always.
All right, bud.
But no, yeah, thanks for the commentary. It'll be good to watch back. I hope it was entertaining.
It definitely was, Harry. Definitely was. You have a good one, mate, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was our podium and our pro second place there. And looking forward to seeing how we get on. Alex, what do you reckon? Final words. Alex has muted himself, right? And he doesn't know he's done it. So this is going to be it for now. You know, I think he might have just realised. Has he realised he has unmuted himself, Mr. Goldschmidt?
Yes, I have, because I just clicked the button.
Oh, well, there done. Good job. Final words from you, buddy.
Well, the Algaarve, okay, it wasn't the most exciting race, but we did have some good battles nevertheless. But Martinez and Jared Love, they can't really be stopped at the moment, but what can we say? You're going to have to tune into next week to find if that does change, that little story.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, Liam Turner, Diggy Barr, Sophie, Teresa, of course, Sean Mahoney in there, and Fluky, who's just said, I've had a brake pedal issues. That's why I nearly hit Wayne, says Andy. I think that's Andy White, isn't it? The in the Mustang as well. So for HP Racing there as well. Unlucky, Andy, buddy. Unlucky. Don't watch the broadcast back, though, because I'd turn around and say you got it all wrong. But never mind. Hey, on that note, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining me. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Alex Goldschmidt. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know. We'll see you on the track sometime. Good night.
Jungle.